Leaders of several NYSE-listed electric companies gathered at the 60th EEI Financial Conference earlier this fall in Florida. Among them was Pedro Pizarro, the CEO and president of Edison International, who has been recognized for its advanced waveform anomaly recognition, or AWARE system. He sat down with me to talk more about it. Take a listen.
Ours is more diverse than the country. We are seeing lots of electrification going on. So something like 1 out of every 4 cars sold in California is electric. We're also seeing plain old load growth. We're still seeing developments of new communities in our area. And we are seeing some data centers. We are a higher cost state, so we're not seeing the big 2 or 3 gigawatt data centers for training AI, but we are seeing requests for the 100, 150 megawatt centers that will be used for inference, for answering your questions on an AI platform.
And I understand that your company is using AI to improve customer reliability, and you've won awards for some of the programs. Can you share more?
One is the award that we won from EEI. It's our highest award at Edison Electric Institute, the Edison Award. Our team won it this year for something called AWARE. It has a great acronym behind it. But what it is it's taking data from multiple kinds of sensors across our distribution system, and it's fusing that data together. And it's a lot like maybe your smartwatch might be detecting your temperature and your heartbeat, etc., and giving you a warning if it thinks you might be running into trouble. Well, similarly, by fusing all that information and using AI with it, we're able to do 2 things with AWARE. One, when there's a fault on the system, it can be hard to locate those. Well, this tool can help to locate those faults really quickly, so we can then send workers to the scene. The second thing it does, though, is it can predict faults. Like a smartwatch may say, hey, watch out, you might be having a heart issue now. Well, it can predict where and when a fault might take place. And that's huge, right? Because it helps us to prepare the system, go take care of issues before they arise.
And of course, wildfires are a devastating reality in Southern California. What are you doing to protect the grid from wildfires?
Yeah, well, let's just start by saying 2025 has been a heartbreaking year in our community. And it was a Palisades fire that impacted parts of the Southern California Edison area, but not related to utility infrastructure. Then there's the Eaton fire that impacted the Altadena community. Actually, I live in Pasadena, right next door. My wife and I have been there for 37 years. These are our neighbors, it's our community, and many, many homes were lost. And our SCE's equipment may be connected with that fire. We think it's likely that it may be found to have been connected with the ignition. Haven't concluded that yet, but we are moving forward with helping the community rebuild more quickly. We have a direct claims program that we've launched to help folks go through the process and start rebuilding their homes and their lives more quickly. But to your question, what are we doing to help prevent future fires? This has been a journey since 2017, when the first major catastrophic fire started happening in California. And since then, Southern California Edison has moved very quickly to redesign the airplane while in flight. Just to scale it for you, by the end of this year, 90% of all distribution wires in high fire risk areas will have been hardened, more than 90%. So in these 6 years or so, something like 6,800 miles of distribution wire have already been replaced, from bare wire to insulated wire or covered conductor, which can help mitigate fire risk. We've also done things like add equipment like fast-acting fuses that can help take energy out of the system much more quickly, reduce the chance of ignition when there's a problem on the system. Say a driver hits a pole. We have added telemetry like weather stations that can help look into conditions like wind speed, humidity, etc., high fire risk conditions. We've added high-definition cameras that firefighters can use to look for early signs of smoke and send their crews there. So there's a lot that we've done, including public safety power shutoffs, which are preventive shutoffs of power. They're painful. We don't take them lightly, but they have helped to avoid a large number of ignitions during high fire risk times. And just to scale it for you, Ashley, SCE serves 50,000 square miles throughout California. 27% of that territory is deemed high fire risk.
And what have your takeaways been from EEI so far this year?
A lot of discussion at EEI about load growth. Again, in our area, it's electrification, it's addition of homes, a little bit of data centers. In other parts of the country, it's a lot of data centers. It's the re-onshoring of manufacturing. This is the first time our industry has seen meaningful load growth really since the post-World War II era. For Southern California Edison, we're seeing some between 1% and 3% growth per year in the next several years. We think we'll see as much as 50% growth by 2035 and nearly doubling by 2045. For the industry, it's all about how do we make sure we can meet that load. We believe we can, but we will need help from partners, including from government. And siting and permitting reforms be one of the most important tools to help us get there. Part of the discussion in many states is also what's that partnership with data centers as they look at building in different communities. And then, the other big topic is affordability. We're living in a time of a lot of economic stress for many of our customers. As power companies, we do a lot to maintain affordability. And in the case of our own company, there's been work for over a decade to improve processes, use technology, now use more AI to maintain cost trajectories at a reasonable level. Over the last 30 years, Southern California's system average rates have gone up right about our inflation. The last 5 years, it went up higher than that, faster than that, due to market conditions, the cost for purchase power, as well as the wildfire mitigation investments that we needed to make, some other drivers. But fortunately, over the next several years to 2028, we see a return back down to inflation level cost increases. System average rates going up between 2 and 3%. One of the things that we talk about, particularly in California, with our state's plans to engage in the clean energy transition through a lot of electrification, we see our average customer spending a lot less on their total energy bill, electric plus natural gas plus gasoline. See a 40% reduction in the total bill by 2045. And said a different way, today the average SCE customer is spending about 7% of their household income on that combination of electric plus natural gas plus gasoline. Through electrification, because our electric technologies are more efficient, we believe that will go down to 3% by 2045.
Thank you, Pedro Pizarro, CEO and President of Edison International.